I'm gonna hit my vape with my nose. Hold on.
Welcome everybody to the Hunover Hour podcast. Holy shit!
High five!
Go
Not. Wait, let me share this very niche. Let me share this very niche Borat MCU meme. It's very funny.
Oh,
Yeah, it's very. I love this meme.
Borat in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Let
What?
everything else that we lost die, because I think it's funnier that way. But Continental, you do have something that you need to say that does need to be on the record.
that does need to be on the record. I would like to apologize for last episode about talking about the episode was recorded before the Russian-Ukraine war, and we did not expect them to just be freaking KOing civilians with their tanks, and we were talking about running people over in my tank, and I'd like to say sorry about that. Didn't expect them to be doing that. That was really badly timed.
We are pro-Ukraine here. Okay, it's
Continental
like,
has
it's
just
3 or 4
admitted to
really
committing mass murder.
I mean, yeah.
Like
true.
what number do you have to reach to get the moniker of mass killings, right?
I'd say at least triple digits.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, like high 2-digit, at least triple digit.
Yo, I just apologize for saying fucked up shit in the last episode. We go straight into the fucked up shit this week.
Great success.
You watch him, he's a comer.
He's a bummer.
You watch him, he's a comer.
Thank you, former President Donald Trump.
I accidentally made shit in front of Donald Trump Tower. No, he no talk
Borat's
to me.
always, speaking of Borat, I never really what.
Indeed.
Yes.
The first time I actually watched Borat was
Borat is always
I think
made
a
of
year
Borat.
before Borat 2 came out, but I know the whole movie just through cultural osmosis, because it's one of those movies that, at least in America, like everyone knows that movie, everyone quotes that movie. I have quoted that movie unknowingly, but knowing that it was Borat. Like, I always knew of it, but I never watched it until like a year and a half ago, 2 years.
That's actually the same case with me. I didn't even watch the first Borat movie until like when Borat 2 came out, and I was like, alright, I might as well watch the first Borat movie if I'm going to watch the second one. So I did, and I basically just watched them both back to back. But, like, yeah, like, fucking, I think it came out in, like, 2007, and I was in 8th grade, and
Yeah,
just
no, it's one of those things that I think
everybody
like,
was quoting that
subconsciously and a little
shit.
bit consciously, like,
Everybody.
avoided, because man, when she gets that popular, that's when I go, okay, I do not care, because everyone is fucking talking about this.
Based.
And I guess I'm just always and will forever be a hipster like that, even though I'm literally playing one of the most popular MMOs right now. Lost Ark has consumed my fucking life, by the way.
You know what? You can't say shit about that. I have played Lost Ark nonstop. I only do nothing. I eat, sleep, Lost Ark. That is
Okay,
all
but
I
do you
do.
guys want to know what the second most played game on Steam is currently?
Oh my god, are we diving right into this right off rip?
We're diving right
No,
now. No, we're diving.
All right,
we're diving
everybody,
right
boys.
into it. We're diving right into it. The second
Everybody,
most
it's Dark
played
Souls
game
4.
is Elden Ring, and I have literally, for the last
Steam
3.5 days, have done
Deck.
nothing else. I've barely eaten. I've barely slept. I've barely done anything except played Elden Ring. And, like, literally I went on Twitch yesterday and there was like 400,000 people streaming Elden Ring.
Wild.
And, like, the amount of people playing Lost Ark versus the amount of people playing Elden Ring, it's not that... There's not a big difference. There's maybe a difference of like a few thousand people. So there's a lot of fucking people playing Elden Ring. And boy,
That's
howdy.
saying a lot too, because Elden Ring is a $60 game and Lost Ark is free.
Yeah, that's true, and
as
that's
of right now. Lost Ark has 190K and Elden Ring has 389K. So like
also Elden Ring is higher
also
than
passed
than
Peach
Lost
3
Ark,
times.
is what you're saying.
Yeah. No, like I probably at launch, like a lot of people were still like doing the Lost Ark thing because that was just like the hit game on Twitch for like 3 days as it usually is, and then another thing comes along and people jump on that, and we're probably gonna have a lull for like 2 weeks, and then Kirby's gonna come out, and then everyone's gonna play that. Like you can kind of see this shit happen.
Yeah.
Like at least for me, I feel like I see this shit happen in real time. But Pidge, the floor is yours to come all over.
Oh yes, and come all over I shall. God damn, Elden Ring, like, is the fucking just the greatest fucking game I've ever played. It's God, it's so fucking good. Like, it's so good that it's even like people that I know that hate Dark Souls are wanting to play Elden Ring. Like my friend, who I told Kyle this earlier. But I literally bought Dark Souls 3 for my friend so that we could play together. And he got so mad at it after like an hour or two that he refunded it and paid me back. And he's now...
I know who that is.
Yeah, now he's like dying to play Elden Ring. And he's like, God, Elden Ring looks so fucking amazing. I really need to play this game. And I'm seeing all these posts on Twitter and YouTube and stuff where like people are like, oh, first time Souls player playing Elden Ring and shit. And it's mainly because it's an open world game, but the open world format just lends itself so well to a Souls type game that it's fucking insane. And I feel like it's such a massive game, because it was hyped up so much, and it really did deliver. Like it more than delivered, despite the massive amounts of hype. That I feel like the next like Elden Ring might be the next Breath of the Wild, where it like influences the next few years of like video games.
You think so?
I think it might. I mean, at least to a maybe not to a degree as much as like Breath of the Wild, but at least to some extent.
Yeah. What sets Elden Ring apart
Well,
from like
let
any
me,
Dark Souls game or any fucking Skyrim?
okay, let me tell you, little Plonk, what sets apart Elden Ring from something such as Skyrim or Breath of the
Pidge
Wild.
actually just went, okay, you fucking beta.
Yeah,
Let's
okay,
just
you
dig into
fucking
that."
beta cuck little bitch boy, let me tell you a fucking story. Souls-like games...
You're good, Plonk.
or From Software games, they aren't
I'm
for just
sorry that-
anybody.
They're for the real.
They're for the
You hear that, Plonk? They're not for bitches.
gamers. No, but like fucking playing Skyrim. Skyrim is a wonderful game. I love the shit out of Skyrim, but the the combat in Skyrim, if you could even call it that, is just it's like you might as well take two fucking PVC pipes and hit them and just bang a wall with it. You get the same experience as playing Skyrim, pretty much. At least Skyrim combat. But Elden Ring, it's like you'll just stumble upon this cave out of fucking nowhere. You'll be like, oh, what's in this cave? And you'll go through it and you'll get to the end. And there's this big fucking golem dude who will just fucking kill you in one hit. And you're like, what the fuck? I want to kill this golem dude. So now you're incentivized to go around to the open world, do all this wild shit, get stronger, come back to this big golem dude in the cave that you found like 5 hours ago, and go wreck his fucking shit. And that's the beauty of it, because you're incentivized to go through the open world and just like get stronger and explore it to find more crazy shit that you can use to defeat all these wild bosses. And that's what sets it apart from Dark Souls, because if you start fighting a boss that you're hitting your head against the wall and you can't beat it, you just go to somewhere else and you just get better shit, and you come back and you just beat the boss with a giant hammer that's 20 feet long or something.
So as someone who has literally never touched a Souls game, I was talking with one of my buddies at work who's like, he's also like super high on Elden Ring, as with like nearly every single person that's like a quote unquote gamer. And I don't know, the Souls formula has never like worked
for me. Like, it's never appealed to me. Like, I totally understand the appeal of it. Like, it's a challenging game, and that feeling of accomplishment is absolutely wonderful. In full respect to the people that like it. It's just, I have never been pulled towards it. But hearing that, I think I'm a little more so, because I think one of the things that always held me up for Souls games was, like, you are in this area, you're in this part of the castle, the dungeon, the whatever. Like, this is where you are, but, like, the ability to go elsewhere and just fuck off and do whatever and then come back. I think that's way more appealing to me than, like, just, here's a Souls game, here you are in this area, there's totally different routes you can take to it, but you still have to, like, beat this boss. Like, there are hard checkpoints for things.
Yeah.
And you either get good or you die.
Yeah, but
And
with Elden Ring it's different because you can just fuck off and just do something else.
No, and I think that's pretty cool, because I've been on the I don't care about Elden Ring, because I talked about this earlier. I put this in the topics channel, but, like, I don't think of myself as a gamer. Like, I think I can fully hand in that gamer card. Like, I play games, but, like, I'm not a, how do I explain this?
Yeah. You don't say racial slurs.
I don't say racial slurs anymore.
That's good.
Fuck 16-year-old. Fuck
Exactly.
fuck 16-year-old me, first off. But,
I don't think
That's
I will.
what
but go
sets
on.
them apart.
Fucking hell. Fucking hell.
You
like,
lose your gamer pass
a
with
bunch of friends
age,
are like,
you
oh,
know?
what are you looking forward to coming out? I'm like, the new Kirby game looks pretty sick. Mario Kart, there's gonna be a bunch of new tracks on 8. I'm like, that's pretty fun. But, like, I don't know. Part of me just doesn't want myself to experience new games, because, like, I know what I like. I love long-term progression. I love grinding. I love, you know, I like when the number gets bigger and I put in a lot of work to make that number get bigger, or I get lucky and that number gets bigger. Like, that number go big, brain worms wriggle around, right? That's kind of like the baseline for me. And I don't know. Occasionally, like, I'll branch off.
Of
Like,
course.
I love pixel platformers. Like, Celeste is my baby. I love Celeste. But I don't know. Like, I don't care about a lot of games coming out, because I look at them all and I'm like, that's, like, nothing. And then occasionally I'll get swept off my feet with, like, something that, like, obliterates my worldview. Like, it happened with Genshin, and it's happening now with Lost Ark, where I was like, oh, cool, like, everyone's playing this. Yeah, Genshin.
Genshin?
Yeah.
All right, question.
Genshin?
Of, oh, yeah.
Right.
I don't know if this is going to come across before recording, but that was fucking great.
I'm gonna have to ask you, following up Genshin,
Maybe
following up
don't
Genshin Joby,
ever
what's your
bring up
preferred
that
age
game
range
again.
for women?
Just a suggestion. Just a suggestion.
Fuck you,
And
first.
hopefully they are women and not girls. By the way, let's just make that clear.
Women.
Yeah,
women.
that's what I'm saying. Women. I'm hoping it is women.
No, women, like, literally, like, I play Genshin. My waifu in the game, which I'm totally fine with saying waifu, is this big titty nun assassin girl. She's great. I love her story. She's got wonderful design.
It's Genshin we're talking about here.
I do love
Woman or girl,
I
be
do
specific.
love big anime titties, so I fully support this. By the way.
Okay. I'm a
What?
I'm a man
How
of
old are you?
science, so I use the half your age plus 7 rule. Okay, hold on. It's
Yeah, I guess.
yeah. Okay, so like I'm 20, right? So 17
The
would
bottom.
be
I
the
think that
bottom.
starts only working after you're like
But
22.
even still, I mean, I personally, I would for right now, like for this year,
Plonk,
my
like,
age range would be
I don't-
18 to 26.
I don't-
That's my comfort range,
Hey,
right?
we all like MILFs, alright?
We do.
We'll
If you
be
don't
honest
like
here.
MILFs, you're insane.
Uh,
By the way, just gonna say
I'm
that.
also very pro DILF.
That's
But
based.
we can talk about that another day. No,
Oh.
oh god, dude. Okay, tangent on a tangent on a tangent. I have, like, since the end of last year, me and my best friend's girlfriend have been obliterating seasons of Survivor, and I have been figuring out so much shit about me. I'm like, oh, that's the reason why I like dads, is because Jeff Probst is fucking hot. Like, hold on,
Bro,
let me put a
my
picture
my
of him.
ex-girlfriend literally said the same exact thing. It's fucking universal.
No, dude, he is the blueprint for white dad bod and white dad face, and I am about it.
He is really
here's-
about
here's a
racism.
younger-ish picture of him. Like this is
He really is.
like if you haven't pulled him up yet, like pull him. Like he fucking. Oh my god, I would let this man do unlimited things to me.
You never see a cum man.
Oh my god.
Okay, Jeff Probst is pretty hot, I gotta say.
Like this is a great picture of him. Oh my god, he's adorable. I love him. He's great. But yeah, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, dilfs are hot.
Yeah, there was also Genshin Impact and the Age of Consent in there.
Yeah, no, there was that, and I was like, yeah, no, there's some fuck shit, and people like fuck shit. I can only shame the people that like fuck shit.
To also circle back to gaming, by the way, which is what we were talking
I
about.
feel like that's the reason
Like
I
I
don't.
said, tangent on a
That's the
tangent
reason
on a
I don't like
tangent.
anal, because if you do anal, then you're fucking shit. That's just.
I'm fucking shit already, so no harm in doing anal.
You gotta wear a condom if you're gonna go in with that, because
Yeah.
like you don't know what's beyond the hole, you know. You don't.
You do though.
You don't know. You don't know how like.
The beyond a hole is a
Yeah,
shower.
because like if you're doing anal and they have to like go to the bathroom, but they're not like quite aware of it yet, there's gonna be some solid turds in there, and you're gonna pull. Oh, I don't know. I would. Nah, that seems like condom material, like. It's like mandatory. I wouldn't fucking do that without a condom. Not anal.
What are we talking about?
Anal sex is what we're talking about. That's.
What are we talking
Yeah,
about?
we
Okay,
were.
I'm
Anal
gonna totally
gaming.
flip the
Yeah, we're
topics.
talking about
All right,
anal
let's just
gaming.
get out. Let's
We're
just
using
Let's
get
the
off
fucking
the
topic.
topic.
Now we're talking about
Boys.
anal sex.
Boys,
Well, and we're
Boys.
back. Welcome to
Boys.
the
And
Hungover Hour podcast.
and we're
welcome
back.
back to the Hungover Hour podcast, everybody.
We're really
Elden Ring is a
popular
good
with like
game.
literally nobody else.
Great snack break.
No, we're only
really
popular.
just, like,
Actually,
sidetrack gaming
thank you,
geeks.
Plonk, for bringing that up. We're very popular with over 35-year-old men.
I'm okay with that. I'm alright with that.
I'm fine with that. I'm just very like, what do we
I am-
appeal to?
I am so confused, bro. Because like, I was checking I was like uploading the last episode. I was just like, the demographics are the first thing that pop up. On
You know
Anchor,
what
like,
we
the
appeal
Spotify
to?
upload.
We appeal to those people that are like at the gym, right? And they're listening to a podcast that they actually like, and then it auto plays to this podcast. They're too lazy to go and skip it.
Since you like the Joe Rogan experience, you may like these guys talking about shitting themselves for an hour.
So I'm actually curious because I feel like I might have accidentally inflated that number because I don't know what my Spotify age is set to because I'm pretty sure this was an old dummy account that I use now like repeatedly and I have been like silent boosting the shit out of our previous episodes.
So-
I don't know how much like I'm inflating that and I don't care to check because I think it's really funny.
So our Spotify demographic is much larger, strangely larger than our YouTube, which is weird. Like, so I think it's like 5 times more people listen to us on Spotify. Which shout out to everyone who's not watching the videos. Fuck you, watching.
Shout
the
out
videos.
to everyone who pays $9 a
seriously, shout
month
out
to
to
listen
people
to
that
fucking
somehow-
music.
Yeah, for
Yeah, I
real.
don't know how you found this podcast, but thank you.
Yeah,
But this is a weird feeling.
So-
I can rant
one
about
sec, I'll-
podcasts any
I'll
day.
pull up. I'll pull up our demographics. Actually, it's on a fucking tab here. One sec. Give me 3 seconds here.
I think that Spotify is a pain, both like
Pidge,
You can't do that. It doesn't
both
work.
on the listener side and the artist side. It's just a pain to listen to stuff. You gotta sign in, like no matter like that's the only way you can listen to something on Spotify is if you go and sign in.
Also,
We got for our demographics, we got 10% 18 to 22. Shout out. We have 5% 23 to 27, 5% 28 to 34, 80% 35 to 44.
Shut up.
Shout out to my
Shout out.
What if that's
Hey,
like
hey, y'all.
what if that's like all of our parents sharing it with their extended family?
I
members?
really
like,
My
look
mom
at,
was
fucking hope they
74.
don't.
She
look
would
at
never listen
look
to
at what
this.
my disappointment of a child is doing.
I told my mom about this. She listened to the first episode and hasn't listened to a single one since because she says it's really vulgar. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of 20-something dudes bitching about the world. It's gonna be vulgar.
Yeah.
Like that. Have you met
I don't
men?
know.
That's kind of the MO.
We talk
right?
about dicks, shit, and maybe something else. There's not much there.
No, it's really
And there's
not.
like one person
This
here
is
who's not
this
straight.
this is why I've thought about resigning.
Please
from
don't
the
Plonk. We need you. We need you.
Hold
Plonk.
on, Plonk, what?
Plonk. What? Explain yourself.
No,
Have you put your 2 weeks in, or am I gonna have to call up and put it onto your employer that you just did a no call no show? This is an employment contract.
Am I gonna have to alert the Better Business Bureau? Because at this point, like, you're a
Yeah.
shareholder.
Yeah,
you'll be hearing from my lawyer.
we are a
don't
publicly traded option, so
That's true. Our IPO is launching like next week.
yes.
worry. Chapter 11.
I don't know how we got evaluated for $7 billion, but we somehow did.
So I know a guy who knows a guy who cooks the books really, really well.
We cooked the books amazing. I'm gonna just say that.
Oh god, my book soup, fantastic.
Some book lasagna.
Okay, but Plonk, you're talking about leaving. Why?
They may also die,
Unless it's-
depending on the
unless it's a
desired
bit
effect.
And I'm falling for the bait, which I commonly do in my real life friend group.
Okay, well, think of Conidle. Conidle kind of, he said, all we talk about is shit, piss, and dick, and that probably was me like 3 or 4 years ago, but I want to say that
now you're about cock, ball, and cum, right?
Penis, penis, penis,
Yeah.
penis.
At
penis,
least
penis,
at-
penis, 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 penis.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of cum, Pidge popped in to me, testing my mic to be sure it was all good, and I was like, I will use a funny word. I was just sitting here being like, cum, 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 cum.
Yeah, and I came in, the first thing I hear him say is cum, and I'm like, what? Why did you say cum?
Okay, hold on. I got something. I got something somewhere. Hold on. Where is it?
Plonk is like trying to figure out how to set off the bombs that he somehow got to sneak into our houses. Right?
That is strange. I did get a.
Yeah, I snuck them in
very much
over.
I did a
appreciate if
weird
you
package
detonate it right
last
now.
night.
That'd be great.
But Pidge, then you wouldn't be able to play more Elden Ring.
I'll shield the laptop with
Oh,
my
okay, I
body.
may have to
I'll be
search.
a 3rd-degree burn victim, and I'll still be playing Elden Ring. I don't give a fuck, dude.
Plug me into the metaverse, but only let me play.
Yeah.
Playing Elden Ring with your 2 fingers you have left.
Exactly. I'll get one of those Xbox disability controllers and play it with that.
Okay, what the fuck is this?
Oh no!
Hold on.
What the?
Are you?
Is it-
Oh god.
Oh,
Huh.
Forward
Come on, why is
slash
it-
play, I believe.
why is it not working?
You fucking.
What are you doing?
Oh.
It's not working for him.
Do it in a different channel. Do it in a different
Why is-
channel.
Audio listeners who are not seeing this visually, Plunk's just failing in beds left and right
He's
here.
desperately attempting
Okay,
to play an
failing
There we
MP4
go.
file.
There we go.
Oh, here we go.
The penis is the external male reproductive organ, located in front of the scrotum. The penis encloses the urethra, which carries both urine and semen to the outside of the body, but not at the same time. The penis is made of spongy tissue that fills with blood during
That's false.
sexual arousal to become erect. As the male organ for
you haven't seen
intercourse,
mine, then.
the penis deposits semen into the female vagina.
Gross.
Ah.
Ew.
So wait, so if
I stole that off
wait,
of,
it's supposed to
some
fill with blood.
Flash.
Mine just squirts it out when it gets hard.
Me too. What the fuck?
Wait, hold on. So, your guys' balls make a noise when you come, right? Like it like jingles a little bit.
My
Yeah, mine's more of a high pitched squeal.
Yeah. What do you think Jingle Bells is about?
Oh, 24 years old and I just now cracked it.
Oh man.
God damn.
No, but I think your mom does have a point. I think we talk about penis and shit a lot.
Yeah.
we really do. I mean,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like,
You know, I will be
What else
honest
do we
though.
have in
I
Yes.
there was a couple videos like I helped edit an AM.
Vagina.
Hold on. Are you talking
The
about
vagina is
my
a
mom?
muscular tube
No,
that
no, my-
connects the cervix of the uterus to the outside of the body. It
Why
serves
do you
as a
have
passageway for menstrual flow. The vagina is the female organ for intercourse. The muscle tissue in it can expand to accommodate the penis during intercourse, as well as the passage of a baby during childbirth.
Wow,
Fascinating.
why do you
stuff.
have these?
Yeah, so my school made me do something before graduation, and I just like stole sound files
Based?
from the Flash player.
Based. I'm gonna be
Rip
honest.
that
When I was
totally.
back in high school, I straight up stole Sony Vegas for my school computer, and
Hell
Now
yeah.
that's
And,
based.
I used that thing for years, man, until I lost that laptop. But
Also have a soundbite of some teacher singing Black Sheep in the most like monotone
Let's hear
way
it.
possible.
Why?
Oh, hold on. I've used the wrong
Idiot.
command again. Oh dear.
Oh, me
Oh, dear.
and I.
Couldn't find any song in query. I thought I had put it in. Play query.
Okay, so Plonk.
Oh, it
you-
doesn't
you
work with
stole-
Wave.
You stole sound bites. Continental, you stole Stony Vegas. Pidge, what have you stolen from school?
I stole
Yeah,
one.
well,
it's
thing.
not just Sony Vegas.
I stole a few things from in high school. I was in a carpentry program for all 4 years, and I remember stealing several screwdrivers and drill bits from carpentry. That's all I stole. It's very
Based.
boring, but that's really all I stole from high school, or really any
know-
school.
I stole computers.
Since I guess it's out of the statute of limitations now, I can just straight up list off everything I stole out of my high school.
Yes.
Go.
So I stole Sony Vegas. I stole a grinder from my metal fab class. I still have it. Use it to this day. A couple wire brushes, a couple goggles, a steel punch from the same class. I stole a robotic remote control for a Tazbot or some shit like that. I don't know. I never used it. I threw it away for some reason. I was just stupid.
I stole it and throw it
I,
away.
I stole an entire spool of 3D printer filament. I still have it.
Hell yeah.
It's really good.
Do you have a 3D
No,
printer?
I have a 3D pen, so I use it, but like
Great.
not best. But a couple sign speakers. I try to cook meth. Yeah,
That's cool.
just a bunch of random shit that I'm like, yeah, it's cool. I stole a couple like fucking algebra textbooks because I was just a fucking goblin.
Me goblin. What does algebra mean?
So from the time of like 5th grade all the way up till high school, I was almost suspended every single year for stealing shit.
That's
That's
impressive.
great. I wish I was that brave in high school.
I only ever like stole computers, but that's because like they were going to get like junked anyway. So I was like, "Hey, can I have these?" My teachers were like, "No, wink." I'm like, "Okay, wink. I won't wink. Steal
Wink,
them."
wink.
Then I stole them, and then tried to like build a computer, like take all the parts and like make something better. And that's how I learned about computers. I'm like, "Oh, this was never gonna work." But now I have a bunch of like really crappy Dells that I guess.
Bro, those the Optiplex 9010s are the goat, like cheap computers. I'm gonna be honest. I have like 4 of them for some reason. Just
It's an aesthetic that I kind of miss, to be quite honest. I really like when people get like old school cases and like just put a bunch of modern hardware. Like, oh, so we take electronic recycling at my job, and someone dropped off this fucking dinosaur computer. It must have been from like late 80s, early 90s, but it was that like white, like sun-dyed yellow look. It's got all the fucking like drive bays and stuff. I almost walked away with it if it wasn't going to cost me my job, because I asked him like, hey, so what would happen if like this just wasn't in the recycling bin? My manager was like, well, I mean, you shouldn't have told me that, but we'd probably have to do something about that. I'm like, man, it's going to get recycled anyway. I was going to give it a good home.
you would gut it and throw a 2080 in it, like obviously, like, bro.
Yo, I'm gonna put a 2080 on my fucking
The graphics-
IBM compatible computer.
Bro, I tried to buy it. Like,
Bro, I'm gonna get 20,000 frames per second on
right
Doom.
when the 6900 XT came out, I bought it Because I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I need a new graphics card. I'm still running an RX 570 from 2016. I need a new graphics card. Yeah. So I bought that. 4 months roll by. I never got it.
You don't need you don't need a new graphics card. You need an older operating system so that it looks more impressive.
Honestly, I would be
like, yeah, I got a GTX.
I ain't gonna knock
Windows
the
XP
RX 570. I'm not gonna knock. I can play Forza like max graphics, 60 frames per second, no issue. Like it's a good card, but like if I want to play newer games, it's gonna struggle.
Use older games to get better
Exactly.
frame rates. Yeah, I can get 200 frames per second playing Half-Life 2 with a GTX 1080 on this this Windows XP
Oh yeah,
machine.
this thing cranks out easy 400 frames on Half-Life. It's actually kind of impressive. But
Wow.
so I bought the 6900.
Continue on, because I have stuff I want.
I bought the 6900 and 4 months roll by and I'm like, fuck, okay. So I contact Newegg and I'm like, hey, never got it. They check. They're like, yeah, it's pretty obvious. It's never shown up. So they refund me. Perfectly fine. I buy another one. It was fucking easy. They sent that one out like a month later. I got that one. Then a couple weeks roll by and I get the other one. So I have two 6900 XTs just sitting in my house right now. And the problem is my fucking power supply is like 100 watts too low in my PC to put it in because it would just fucking fry it.
Oh, that's brutal. See, I have like the opposite problem. I'm still rocking a 1060 because I cannot for the life of me be able to I want to get a new graphics card, but holy shit, I am not paying those prices. Like even for a 2060, it's like $1,000, and I'm like, I'm not paying that much.
I had to sell 2 cars to buy a graphics card. Like it's rough.
God, yeah, no, it's fucking ridiculous. No, but like meanwhile, like I have an ROG Strix B550F, and then I have a Ryzen 7 5800X. Like I have like top of the line shit, but I have a 1060.
Fucking same. I have a fucking 5950 in here, and I have a fucking RX 570 running behind it. Like, what am I doing?
It's just it's hilarious because like I got like a 950 power supply, so I have so much headroom. Like it's ridiculous the amount of like power I have in my machine, but it's literally just being bottlenecked by my GPU because you can't buy a card now.
Oh yeah.
And like I was trying to like help James out the other day. And I'm just like, yeah, dude, like you can't, if you can buy a good graphics card for like
no, don't fucking talk about James. No, I fucking offered him one of the 6900s. He's like, it's on a 3080. I'm like, it's a fucking 6900. It's the same shit, just AMD. Fucking accept it. And he's like, no, it's on a 3080. Bro, don't. He gets no room to talk.
That.
What a pussy!
It's basically on the same level.
It's just a different OS running it. That's the only difference.
And if you have a modern AMD chip, which like I do, like the 5900X series is really good because RDNA works implicitly with it.
Yeah.
Like it's a solid deal. Funny.
Yeah,
But I mean that's also like just the power of like Nvidia. Like everyone knows Nvidia for the graphics cards. Like that's been their bag for what 15, 20 years, something like that.
Yeah, honestly, that is why I go AMD though, because it's like AMD cards. I'm an AMD fanboy. I'm gonna be straight up. I love their shit, but because I've always ran AMD CPUs, even when they were back processing for Intel, like way back in the fucking day, and
Oh yeah.
So I've always loved their shit, and when they started making their own shit back right when their first gen of their own CPUs dropped, I was building computers for them. Because like it was just so solid, and they're like, yeah, we'll just do everything. You don't have to like have an Intel CPU and an Nvidia card. No, you can have AMD everything, and it all works together.
It's crazy. My first computer that I built was Ryzen 5 1400.
Oh fuck yeah!
No, because it was just like, dude, like $150. I have like a really high, like mid-range but high-level mid-range chip. And I'm just like, this thing's fucking great because I was on like an i5 something or other for my gaming laptop for a long time before I made the plunge to build my own rig. And no, it's great. I probably will be Team Red for CPU for a while. Like GPU, it's kind of like I'll take what I can get at this point, but I'm not. I need to get a car before I get a graphics card. That's like way down the line, and I'm not like running anything that demands it, and I'm not playing anything or nothing's coming out in the future that's gonna demand that I have a better GPU. Like I can still run VR like fine. That was like the baseline for my rig.
Yeah, I feel that.
But like anything I throw at it, I can like if it's like decently optimized, like I can get like 60, 100 frames out of anything for the most part, like no problem. So like I'm never like pressed for it.
Yeah, I did some modifications. I'm finally getting 6 frames per second on Minecraft.
Oh my god. So, again, retail. I sell electronics. Put two and two together. I'm not gonna say it out loud, and I'm not gonna confirm it. But like I remember.
We can either confirm
I'm not
or
gonna confirm or
deny
deny
that
anything.
Joby works at a
Yeah,
Blockbuster.
let's just say whatever you're guessing, it's a solid buy.
It's a solid. I'm gonna plead the fifth every time. I had this like mom and her daughter like walk up and they're like, yeah, we want a computer to be able to run Minecraft, and my brain went, okay, cool. And they're like, yeah, and she's talking like this Curse Forge thing. I'm like, oh god, modded Minecraft. Like even like high end rigs, like ugh. Modded Minecraft is one of the most intense things to run.
Have y'all?
Because like no matter what you do, I haven't tried it on like an NVMe drive, but I'm pretty sure if you do that, the load time is probably fine. But like even on SSD, like the load time for like a modern mod pack with like everything is like 5-6 minutes just to load it.
Bro.
And even then, like your first time loading everything is chunky.
I run Curse Forge off at NVMe. It still takes about 5-6 minutes.
That sounds about right. No, it's ridiculous. Thankfully, like we had some like good options for them. But I'm just like, ugh, just so you know, like no matter what I give you, even if I give you like the top of the line stuff, it's still gonna chunk for a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's one of the hardest benchmarks. Like, okay, pivoting. It's really hilarious how Minecraft has always been a really good like measurement for like how good your brig is. It's like back in the day, you used to fill up a world of TNT and light it off and see how fast the game crashed or your computer crashed. Like that was the metric. And I always thought that was really funny how there's always been a consistent like, yeah, Minecraft is a surprisingly good benchmark. Granted, there are better ways to test things and there's like actual benchmarking software and yada yada yada, but it's just really funny how it's always persistent.
Who gives a fuck about that? You throw shaders on, you throw some FTB on there, and you see if it runs. If it runs, it's a good rig.
Absolutely. It is a nightmare of a game to like run properly. I don't think a lot of people talk about that, in my opinion. Like everyone's like, oh, does it run like Tomb Raider? That's a really good one. Microsoft Flight Sim. Granted, those are for specific software architectures that they're testing for.
Dude.
But like, I'm not going to build a computer just to play Microsoft's Flight Simulator. At least me. I guarantee there are people out there that are like, yo, fuck this guy. Microsoft Flight Sim is my life. We will kill you for talking slander on our game.
One of my buddies is a humongous Bitcoin bro. Like he has probably 5 or 6 rigs running, like a full graphic card setup. Like, you know, that's his.
Fuck him.
That's his job. That's what he does now. Like,
Fuck him.
hey, he's a homie. He understands what he's doing. He gets all of his power from solar. He tries to be as efficient as possible with his shit. He understands.
I still want to pants him and
Still fuck him.
give him a swirly. I don't care.
Like, I think I'm on that level. I'm not so much at like the level where like I'm like vitriolic rage against like a generic crypto miner bro. Like at least he like is taking steps to do better. I think I'm on like I'll like pants him like at most and like push him over.
No,
that'll be it.
I am also on the page of I usually hate most Bitcoin miners, but he's one of the guys who gets this is a big power draw, so I'm gonna be off grid, so I don't use the power of other homes and shit. Which I'm like, so he's very self-reliant on this shit, so I'm perfectly fine with him. He's a homie, super cool, but he makes enough money to be able to have. I'm not joking. A 5950X dual 3080s in his rig with like fucking some of the most insane RGB. That man can barely run some mod packs.
Yeah, no, it's again like I understand like a lot of the specific like benchmark games because they genuinely do test for like separate things. I will ride Linus Tech Tip's dick until the day that man croaks, because that man has taught me so much. But like. Yeah, Minecraft is just one of those games that's just like is Minecraft Modern Crisis in that regard?
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest. I think
like that used to be like the meme back in the day. Is like, does your computer run Crisis though?
I joined in the PC building craze when Crisis dropped, and my first PC, all my buddies were like, "Can it run Crisis?" No, it can't because it's a fucking mid range. Like,
yeah, no. I've also never played Crisis. I think besides Crisis 3. That was the only Crisis
I'm gonna be honest. I played it recently. I replayed the first one, and it runs super fucking crisp on any rig nowadays. And
oh yeah, no, like we're light years ahead of like where because what Crisis was like mid 2000s.
Yeah, it was like 06, 07.
Yeah, no, like it's I feel like most even most workflow laptops can probably run Crysis 1 decently if they have like an independent graphics card. You probably might not be able to run it on integrated unless it's like one of the really good like APUs, but that's something else. That's still a bit of horsepower.
I'm pretty. My mom's computer that I built for her, she uses it to play Candy Crush and like nothing else. It runs Crysis.
Based.
Yeah, she was like.
All right, and we're back.
And we're back. Please cut all of that out from the episode.
And we're front.
Hello.
What? I thought that was a good time.
That was.
Right. Pitch, what do you want to talk? What's going on in Pitch world besides Elden?
Nothing. Literally nothing. For the last 4.5 days, I did nothing except play Elden Ring. So.
No, I did want to bring up something. Very, very, very sudden, very random, very strange. So I'm a little bit of an antique store boy. You know, I like my old stuff. I have like a 1947 picnic table. You know, like a bunch of old lanterns and shit.
Whoa.
I like this.
I like it.
That old shit's cool. I like it.
Yeah,
It's
that's pretty
enjoyable.
sick.
It's some cool decor. You know, some cool shit. I was at an antique store very local to me, and I was just walking through. It's usually just old ladies, and that's about it. I'm like the only 20-year-old man in there. Like. No one else is going to be in my age range. So this antique store also sells authentic samurai swords and nunchucks.
Whoa.
So it's sick. I've bought one of their swords before, and then I felt like a Redditor and sold it immediately.
That's the reaction I think.
Yeah, if you're saying
I was like, this is
being,
fucking
that is the
sick.
natural
And then like,
reaction that you should
bro,
have.
I cut one watermelon with it and then sold it on Facebook Marketplace. But so I'm in there. It was probably like a couple days ago, and just browsing through. I was looking for some cool like old road signs or some shit, and I just look over and there's this one old woman and she's just checking out one of the nunchucks, and I don't really think much about it, and then I just hear this humongous ass crash, and what she had done was she was trying to spin it and had slammed a grandfather clock next to her and had shattered the entire front glass piece in it. So,
oh my god, Grandma thought she was Kung Fu.
Grandma thought she was Kung Fu. Then Grandma thought she could get away. Grandma then proceeded to run out of the store and try to get into her car. The only problem was she could go maybe max a mile an hour. So the fucking like middle-aged shopkeeper was like, ma'am, you have to pay for that. He was just walking behind her. She was fucking like full-on fucking Sonic running out of this, and he's just walking right behind her like, ma'am, you need to pay for this, ma'am.
I'm just imagining you like stopping her by like the crook of her neck, like you would like pick up a
I'm gonna be
just hold her right there and like, nah, you're not getting away from this.
Honestly,
that's not happening.
After working retail, I've come to the conclusion I'm not gonna do shit anymore. Like I do not care. I've done it enough at my old job. I'm not gonna do it anymore. So I just let it shit happen. And so
I'm like the opposite. This doesn't happen often, at least post pandemic, because I don't really go to places anymore because we're the Carl's Jr. disease.
What?
The beer disease with
I
extra
decided
lime.
to censor Carl's the
Kyogre virus.
Jr. for some reason. The Kyogre virus.
Yes.
I feel like I'm like more prone to like call people out on their bullshit, especially like that, because I don't work here. I don't give a shit. I'm only helping out the people that work here. Like so my old job, I used to work we were like two shops away on the strip from a Little Caesars, right? So I would get Little Caesars for lunch like maybe once, twice a week. Because Little Caesars, honestly, people sleep on Little Caesars.
That shit goes dummy hard for the price.
Dude, like the $6 pepperoni is fucking bomb.
Little Caesars is bomb when there's someone not in yours and it's fucking disgusting. Like,
oh, absolutely. No, fuck anyone that says Little Caesars is bad. You are uncultured swine.
Yes.
But I digress.
Yes.
So I'm in there. I ordered my food. And I'm just chilling on my phone. And there's like two people in the back. Their phones are ringing. Tickets are coming out. Like they're swamped. And fucking hillbilly dumbass is like standing in front of me like, hello. He turns to me, he's like, what the fuck's going on back there? And I'm like, are you blind? Like, they're working. Like, calm your ass down. They'll get to you. They hear you. They see you. Just chill. All right, do you see them standing around doing nothing? They're working. Like, they hear you. Like, they're not dumb. So I usually will call people out on my shit. So I feel like if I were in your situation, I'd be like, yeah, I'd like block Granny off. Be like,
here's the thing.
You're gonna deal with that.
With retail, I won't do it because retail, it's like I've understood most retail workers are just like, whatever, we'll fucking deal with it later. It's not going to affect us. So I've been in that position. I totally get it. I'm not going to give them more trouble than they need. But food service and automotive service, I will fucking stand up for those people because I know they're just trying to do their fucking best. I've worked in both of those positions. That's another story. I'll tell that in just a sec. I was working as a tire tech. I have a new job now, but yeah, something shit happened there. But so I've worked as a tire tech. I've worked at McDonald's. I've worked at fucking every fast food place you could think of. I get that shit. So when people are just dicks at people in food service, I'm like, hey yo, chill out. They're literally stressed as fuck already back there. Don't make it worse.
Yeah, no, it's awful. But you continuing on with the antique store before I derailed the
Oh yes. So grandma was got to her car, and I wanted to see what happened. So I walked to the front door. I was looking out, and she was trying to get into this Ford Taurus. And as she opened the door, the shopkeep just put his hand on the window and just stood there. And she was like, fuck. So she ran over to the passenger seat. I didn't know if she wanted Grand Theft Auto slide in or some shit, but she's slower than the shopkeep. So he just walked over to the passenger side. And this went on for a good 10 minutes.
Actually tried to slide in there.
Back and forth. She just went back and forth, passenger to driver's side, trying to fucking get in her car. And
holy shit.
This dude was, I bless his heart, so calm. And she eventually did come in, but I walked over to the guy. I'm like, hey, does that happen often? He's like, yeah, that's like the third or fourth time that's happened this year already. It's February. So,
damn.
Yeah, so I'm like, shit, don't think put them in the back. Yeah, but we don't sell them in the back. But y'all just broke a $400 clock. The nunchucks are $50.
Yeah. Yeah, who gives a fuck about the nunchucks? The grandfather clock, that's where the money was.
Actually, I need to talk about this tire tech shit. It's fucking wild.
Okay, go for it.
So this was very recent. I got this job at literally the beginning of this month. It's a tire tech, kind of a local area, just doing my shit. And so I worked with two guys. We'll just say Joe and Tyler. That's not their real names. Joe was the manager. Joe was probably 65, 70-ish. And I really liked Joe. Joe was a really nice guy. Tyler was also a pretty chill dude. Just one of those guys you smoke way too much weed and you smoke it before work type of vibe.
Okay,
and,
I know the vibe.
Yes. And so I love this job. It was fantastic. And then one day I get a call from management, which is based in California, and they're like, hey, the place got closed down. Oh, why? Oh, Joe got found to have child porn on his computer and got arrested.
What?
Yes.
Hold the fuck up.
Joe was the owner of the shop, so the shop is now closed.
What the holy, you just went from 0 to 160. What the
Welcome to Oregon, boys.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Welcome to Oregon. You want a bulge? This country's
And
down
now,
the block, man. I'll buy you.
now I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, man, my brother came over with his girlfriend. His girlfriend, she's 21, 20, one of those ages. And I remember Joe specifically saying, man, she looks like 15. And now I'm thinking about that fucking what he said. I'm thinking more and more about what he said.
Holy shit, and y'all were getting on me for fucking
Oh, hell no.
Holy shit. How do you process that? I don't know how I would go forward.
I'm gonna be straight up. I when I was at my interview for my new job, which is just a factory job, and they're like, what happened to your old job? I didn't know what to tell them.
How did you respond and how did you want to respond?
So the CEO was like, yeah, or whoever the fuck called me. I think it was HR or some shit. Called me and they're like, this. I'm like, oh, okay, totally holy shit, totally understandable. But in my head, I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? That man was always on his computer. What the fuck?
Oh, no! No!
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really hoping it was his personal, not the work computer, because I also use that computer.
Oh no!
Did the authorities? Okay, no, they caught him, so the authorities were. Did you have to like talk to anyone about that?
No, because they all have the evidence right there. It's a fucking hard drive of fucking CP. No, I don't need to talk to anyone. They got enough evidence.
That's fair. Man, that's wild. What the hell?
Yeah, it's like I got a new job. I'm like, hell yeah, pays more than my old one. This ain't shit. No, your fucking boss is a pedo.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh my god, that's not the turn I was expecting. I was like, yeah, no, he got busted for like drug running. No, dude. Homie had
Bro,
terrorists.
I wouldn't be talking about that. That's fucking commonplace here. I've had managers be arrested all the time for drugs.
True.
That shit's new.
True. No, that. Oh my god. Holy
That's terrifying.
shit.
Yeah.
That's.
And the funny thing was, I have Tyler's number, so I texted him. I'm like, yo, did you hear about it? He's like, yeah. I had no fucking clue. And like, he's like, yeah. Like, my kid was there a couple times. I'm fucking scared now. Yeah.
Oh no. Oh god. And then you like fucking start like, oh
Dude,
shit. The
Joe
time
was-
that I walked into his office and he was just like a little too pink in the cheek.
Joe was one of those guys where it's like always when like a customer came in, he would always give the kids candy and shit. You know, he was always one of those really nice guys. You're like, oh yeah, hell yeah, cool. No, he wasn't nice. He was doing something else on the fucking side.
No. Oh my god. So was it just Joe and Tyler and you guys were the only three that ran that
yeah,
shop? Were there other people?
Because it was only open from 8 to 5, so it was like a 9-hour. We only needed 2 people. It was a one like lift tire shop. Like it was really small.
Okay.
So everyone knew everyone. It's strange. Like at the end of every month they did a barbecue at Joe's house. Like this,
Oh no!
everyone brought everyone over.
Oh god.
I never got invited to him because he was arrested before the fucking next one.
How long? If you don't have to answer this, how long were you at this shop?
I was out there for literally a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy god.
Yeah. So it's like,
I don't. What?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna just straight up like, if I have to find another job, I'm gonna just say I was unemployed during that time. I don't want to explain it.
Honestly, you probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
Fuck. Dude, okay, so like, so it's a small shop, so you probably had regulars.
Yes.
What would you tell those people if you find them at like the grocery store? Like, oh hey, you changed my tires. How's Joe doing?
I'm gonna be straight up with them because most of them were like just older dudes. Because like, so do you guys know what the Les Schwab Tire Center is? Like,
Oh yeah,
so
I know about Les Schwab. Yeah.
There was a Les Schwab literally across the street from us. So what our thing was, Les Schwab would always be way more expensive than us. So we would always undercut them like $20-$30 per tire, and that's how we got our business. And so it would always be the old dudes who would always check every store. So it's these old guys or like moms. That's it. That's all we had. So I really just hope the moms don't ask because because they brought their kids in most of the time.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
No, that's one of those fucking things where you just like everything replays in your head, every single interaction. You're like, oh shit, it was in front of me this whole time, wasn't it? And I was just.
I was thinking about it so much because, like, when I applied for the job, I was fully clean shaven, and I have been told many times I look 12 years old when I have no beard.
Oh no!
Yeah, you do look significantly younger when you
That
got
is
a beard.
true.
Yeah, so I'm like, shit, huh? I wonder what he was thinking when I was putting in my application for that place.
Oh no! Oh no!
Jesus Christ! You know what? Kudos to you for like being like, well, I guess I just don't talk about this to anyone in my life again and just move directly on.
Yeah.
And just say, I
I
don't
mean,
fucking know.
I wasn't the guy possessing it, so it does not affect
No.
me. But it slightly
No, it
doesn't.
doesn't.
But it also affects me because I worked for the fucking dude.
Yeah, no, the dude paid you.
Yeah, that man signed my checks.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ, dude!
Plonk, how you doing, man?
How you doing,
Hey,
Paul?
Plonk, what's up, buddy?
Are
Did
you
Plonk
dead?
die?
Plonk?
Plonk.
Plonk?
Plonk.
Hello?
Hello.
Plonk?
Sorry, I spaced out as soon as you guys started talking about the fucking shop and the pedophilia and all that.
That's fair.
I kind of wanted to not
Fair.
be in that conversation.
That's fair. That's a fair point.
No, I get that.
Let's okay, you know what?
So speaking about pedophiles, we're gonna bring up the.
Joby, speaking of which, Joby, I heard you play Genshin Impact.
Oh, I just like hot anime women. Jesus.
You play Lost Ark. You have a fucking replacement.
Yeah, but none of them are fucking the big titty goth.
Have you been to
Genshin,
Stern?
right?
Have you been to Stern yet?
I haven't. I just got to Annika.
Let's just say big titty goth dommy mommy, and it's the shit.
Oh no, man. You mentioned the last time we were talking about Lost Ark. I think like after the show, I think we played some, and you were like, "Yeah, my girlfriend just like, why is she dressed like that?" And like, Korean MMO. That's
Yeah,
part of
that's
the
it.
appeal.
Yeah, literally,
Man, you met the Pirate Master. Whoo, mama.
I genuinely remember because it was like she came in because I'm always like, oh yeah, I'll do all the report stuff like the romance shit because that gives you a bunch of rewards. But the goth woman in Stern actually has a like farther than friendship level, so it's like actually you're able to like, oh, there's like an affection level, and she's like, why are you doing this? I'm like, I don't know, and she's like, that looks like. So I'm gonna pull back the curtain a little bit. My girlfriend is very much a goth girl, a goth woman, and
Respect.
as
you should.
And she's like, that's kind of strange. You're only going for her. I'm like, yeah, it's by taste. You know,
I'm
like
sorry,
no
I'm
shit.
cultured.
Look at you. Like fuck.
Are the pieces falling together yet? Fuck you, Plonk.
What?
So how'd you play
What?
Genshin?
No, that was a good one.
There
You
was
got
such a
me.
long
You got my
pause
ass.
though between me saying that and then you saying "fuck you." Just nothing happened, and that delayed reaction was like almost a whole minute.
It's because I'm a master of comedic timing, Plonk.
Oh.
That's just what I do, baby.
Of course, that's
At
yeah.
least you're not a Smash player. At
Well,
least you're not
we'll-
a Smash
we'll
player.
say that.
That's true.
That's there was that thing recently, the Evo tournament, which is like all the Nintendo games, and everyone's all mad that they don't have Smash there. I completely understand why. Smash, like half the Smash community got outed for like pedophilia and grooming like last year. Dude. God, this video is gonna get taken down everywhere, bro. We've already talked about
Holy
sound
shit,
porn
no,
and
we
pedos.
have been like crossing every single. Like, we're talking about how we ran over people with tanks. How you used to work for a pedophile.
Didn't used to.
Oh my
I found this out like a week ago, bro.
Oh, this was recent.
This was fucking recent. This was this month.
What? I thought this was like.
Yes, this was the day after. This is. I'm not fucking with you. This was the day after we recorded the last episode.
What?
Yes. Yes, this is recent, and I keep forgetting about it, and I'm like, I just try to put it in the back of my head, far away, and with the fucking like in the liminal space rooms and like the back alleys, and it's not working. It keeps coming out like fucking Freddy Fazbear, you know?
Oh my god. Okay, so I there's this guy on TikTok that I follow. He is.
Is he a pedophile?
His name is no, God, no. I swear to God, if he does, I'm going to vomit. No, his name is Squeezy, and he's like this like kind of lanky dude. Homie's been around the.
Wait, is it Squeezy Jibs?
Squeezy for real, I think is his handle. I don't know, but anyway, so how I found out about him was last year. He hopped on a plane trying to go to Indiana, but he hates flying. So his homie's like, "Yo,
that's him. That's him. Yeah, go on,
dude." He's a fucking legend. So he hops on a plane thinking he's going to Indiana, but he hates flying. And his homie's like, "Here, take these melatonin, not melatonin, but like sleeping aids, like heavy duty." He's like, "Yo, word, I'm gonna take 2."
Oh no.
Homeboy wakes up in India, not Indiana.
Sleepy Jim. Yes, I know him.
Yeah, and then
He's
he's
fucking
like,
legend.
Then he gets in a taxi and he's like, "Yo, can I get some ganja?" And the taxi driver's like, "Yes, I can take you to ganja."
I'm like, "Yo, word."
And the taxi driver takes him to this river, And Squeezy's like, "Where's the ganja?" And the taxi driver points at the river. He's like, "Ganja? Where's the ganja?" And the taxi driver's like, "Ganja."
Yeah.
Oh, the Genghis. Oh,
It's
no.
the
Like,
Ganges
the meme about
River.
him- Yeah, no, but like the meme about him is like Homeboy is just he just does every single side quest that's handed to him. Like he is like the epitome of like yes and, but he's just like he's a joy. I love him. He's amazing.
That man
Where I'm
is a
going with
fucking
this
legend.
Continental is you're like if life was constantly rolling critical failures.
Dude, fucking for real.
Everything is a nat 1 or nat
So,
2 roll,
you know,
and it just keeps coming.
I quit my job before this because I was a wildland firefighter and I almost watched a man die. So I'm like, you know what? It'll be safer to be a tire tech. And then he became a pedo. So I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do.
Wait,
I'm
so
really
you're not
hoping that
doing firefighting anymore?
No, I quit my job as to become the tire tech paid more. So I'm like, fuck it, yeah, why not? I don't want to die.
Man, that I just get corporate out my ass. That's my life. I don't have like all this stuff that's happened to me is like really boring, mundane shit. Although I did make a board of directors talk about me because I called their company weird in front of a customer, which is a really funny and really sad thing. So I used to work at a movie theater, and it was slow. And me and my buddy, we'll call him Johnny, not his actual name, obviously. Me and him are working the lines. It's just us two, and like the line's slow, so we're like talking to each other in between customers and we're just talking about D&D, just casually. You know, there's one person there, and this guy like wants a hot dog or whatever, and that takes a while because we usually cook them right there. So I pop it in the oven, I'm talking with Johnny, blah 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 blah, and you know this lady comes up and she orders, and I forget the question that she asks, but I was just like, yeah, we're like a weird West Coast chain. Like we don't really do like the Regal or anything like that. I think they were asking about some sort of rewards program, and I was just like, yeah, we're just like a weird West Coast.
I know exactly what movie theater chain you're talking about. My brother works for right now.
I bet you do, buddy.
Oh, yes.
We'll have to talk after the podcast.
I think I also know what it is.
So anyway, you
Edward.
probably don't.
Cinema.
'Cause it's only on the West Coast in Alaska. Anyway, there's another guy in
The
line
Blockbusters movie theater.
that ordered the hot dog. So I finish him up and hand it to him, and then we just keep going. Homeboy wanders off or whatever, and then like 30 minutes later, my manager comes out, and he's like, "Hey Joe, hey Joby, I need to talk." Completely derailed me.
I'm sorry, I didn't think you would see it yet.
Oh my god, he would. He would. God, it'll put it in the video.
Oh well, fuck.
I'm sorry, I
Oh my
didn't
god, I
know.
love Squeezy. Yeah, I was not expecting that. I just see Squeezy's fucking face.
Spotify listeners, fuck you. Watch the video.
Watch the video. Anyway, so my manager pulls me to the side and he's like, "Hey, you know that guy?" And like describes him like, "Oh yeah, he ordered a hot dog and I think went over to the arcade before his movie. Yeah, what's up with them?" He's like, "So that was one of the board members, and he overheard you call us a quote weird West Coast company, and that you should probably keep things work related." I'm like, "Okay." It's literally two of us, and like, there's nothing going on. Like, we're gonna talk. He's like, "Well, just keep that to the back." I'm like, "Okay, weirdo." Anyway, fast forward about a week, and the assistant manager and me are chilling in the back on a Friday morning. Tip for everyone out there that likes going to the movies: if you have Friday morning free, that is like the absolute deadest time to go watch a movie. Literally, first showing Fridays is fucking free. You will have the theater to yourself. I almost guarantee it. Anyway. So we're just in the back chilling. He goes, "Oh hey, so they had their big annual meeting and you were brought up." I'm like, "What do you mean I was brought up?" And he was just like, "Yeah. So apparently they talked about not you specifically, but about how like the employees need to keep the conversation work related when they're out in the front and probably in the back as well." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Well, you called them a weird West Coast chain. We're talking about Dungeons and Dragons in front of the customers." I'm like, "The fuck else am I gonna talk about? I work at a movie theater." So the joke became I would never say the word weird out loud in front. But I think about the fact that I made a bunch of fucking rich white dudes on like this fucking board of directors talk about me because I called their little West Coast chain of theaters weird because they were a weird West Coast chain of theaters.
They really are. They truly are.
No, they fucking bunch of
Weird.
movies, every single one of them.
No way, he says as he smokes his cigar made of $100 bills.
Tell me all about it.
The only time I ever got brought up in a corporate meeting was my first job at McDonald's, and so
Of course, okay.
Naturally.
oh,
I love you so much, but sometimes you just say shit that I'm like, of course.
yeah,
Yeah,
That happens.
yeah.
yeah, but so like,
McDonald's.
yeah, well, I was still in high school, so like
Ian
McDonald's is one
McDiarmid,
choice.
aka
And,
Emperor
like,
Palpatine
so-
from the hit series Star Wars.
What?
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 What? Huh?
Balls.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Okay, so you're saying.
No, I'm not gonna let this catchphrase keep going. I refuse to participate.
Participate, Plonk, please, go ahead.
And
Fire with those today, what the
God, you're just fucking killing us. You're just like murdering us with the leads. You're like,
holy shit.
yeah, fuck this, I'm out.
Oh god, Jesus Christ.
fuck this shit up.
But
Alright, well, if Pidge has been sucked up with Elden Ring and me and Connell keep hogging all the air, what's been going on with you this week, Plonk? What's up, dude?
Well, not Elden Ring. I'll give you that. I had jury duty this
Oh.
morning.
Oh.
For the
did
first
you feel
time.
guilty?
But everyone got excused.
Oh.
There was no trial,
Oh,
Damn.
unfortunately.
that's lame.
Had some really good fried rice afterwards, and then I had to go back to work. Had a really bad day at work.
Yeah, tell us about your day, Plonk. You seemed heated about it in the chat earlier.
I got verbally harassed by a certain coworker, and it got bad enough that I had to, like, I asked her to stop talking, and she kept going, and so I just said fuck it, and I left and went out to the parking lot to fucking try not to pop my lid. Had the manager go in and talk to her, and hopefully it's worked out now, but
Oh. Well, I'm
also while I was out there they did not get anybody to work at my table, so now I'm behind.
What do you,
And,
you don't have to like be specific. Like, what do you do?
I work at a factory
Okay. Okay.
right now. I really don't like that job. It's they make me work a shit ton of hours, and they never bother to help me unless there's literally nothing for the other people to build. So they either have to help me or they have to wait.
No shit. I'm I'm sorry, dude. No, I
They know I'm not good at that table, but they keep having me work it because they apparently can't find anybody else who can do it better than I do, which doesn't make any sense to me. I honestly think it should be a two-person job, but they're like, no, we've never had two people work there. Even though, like, twice a week when somebody else was working there, they asked me to stop what I was doing to go help them at that table. So it's like,
That's shitty.
clearly
I'm sorry.
one person isn't cutting it. It hasn't been cutting it since this one guy. I'll name him Will. He's drank like 5 energy drinks a day. That's the only reason he was able to get done at a decent time. And I'm pretty sure he did drugs on his lunch break.
Is he
I
dead?
feel like that's
I feel like he's dead.
What? He could. I don't know. I haven't seen him in a little over a year, so
Oh, shit,
he could
he's
very
dead.
well be
He's
dead.
dead.
no. That's ass, dude. I'm sorry. I had a few buddies that used to work at a factory. They fucking hated it. Every single person I've talked to that's had to work at a factory has been like, it is the most worthless job that makes you feel like nothing ever. And I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude. That's awful.
I'm trying to get out of it. I've applied at a few places. I did one interview, but it fell through. Hopefully shit works out. But
Well, damn.
in the meantime, I'm trying to keep my cool.
I mean,
Well, good on you for being able to keep your cool. No, that's all.
at least your manager's not Joe.
early.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true.
Who's Joe?
Oh my god.
Every fucking time, it never comes through right.
No, it never. It's literally just static. Now that you said Joe.
There you go.
Joe Biden.
Joe
It's
Biden,
the
wake
whole
up.
halfway in your mouth, not the whole way.
Wake up! It's time for school. Wakey, wakey! It's
Now remember, the
time
mic
for
doesn't go to your
school.
uvula.
I can put my. I can put my mic in my. Hold on. All right.
Let's not.
You wait. Please don't
Please
put
don't
your
put
mic
your
in
mic
your
in your
uterus.
Holy shit! That came through.
Bro, imagine if that's what your fetus sounded
My
like.
fetus probably sounded like someone was dying because when my mom was pregnant with me, she drank a significant amount of alcohol to try to do an alcohol abortion.
Jokes on her.
Joke's on her! I'm alive, bitch!
I don't know if I talked about this on here, but I do have a buddy who tried to do that.
What's the opposite of alcohol?
Water?
Water?
Yeah, I
What
should
do you
probably
mean
drink a
opposite?
lot of
In
that.
like what way?
What's the opposite of like getting drunk? I mean, guess energy drinks.
Yeah, energy drinks I get.
Yeah. Where you're like,
I guess
it's
maybe,
like nothing
taking,
but motor
melatonin.
skills.
Because like alcohol's a downer, and
Yeah, you need a upper.
Cocaine.
super-
yeah, so like energy drinks, so like just
Cocaine.
Yeah,
Connor
baby.
and I
Like
both said the
cocaine.
same thing at the same time.
I said crack, he said cocaine, so I mean.
oh my god, someone else. just needs to say
Starbucks
that,
now
we
with
gotta cover
crack.
But
Yeah, can I get a crack at you?
crack.
it. Oh god, man, if this is what being sober is like, I need a big stack.
An
of crack.
ice cappuccino, but the ice cubes are just crack rock.
You know, my first car I bought was
Frozen
literally
crack
from
cubes.
a meth dealer. Like my first vehicle I ever purchased was it wasn't from him. I bought it from his father because he was in jail. And so I decided to, get it all cleaned out, and I was like vacuuming out the floor, and I'm like, man, there's a lot of broken glass in here. Like a lot of I didn't think about it, didn't think much, and then come back around and I'm like, wait, there's no broken windows in the car. What is this? Turns out the dude, before when he got arrested, he tried to grab his meth and shove it up his ass, and instead of it going up his ass, it just ripped open and spread everywhere on the floor of my truck.
Oh.
So I wasn't vacuuming up glass, it was just pure methamphetamine.
With
How much money do you think you vacuumed up right there?
I probably could have paid that truck back. I'm gonna be straight up.
Probably. Like I don't know what the street price of meth is, but
Same. Well, that's a good thing. That is a good thing. You don't know the street price of meth.
Yeah. Condor, I'm going to be entirely honest with you. I would have expected you to know the street price of meth. By the way, I love you more than life itself.
Yeah.
You are like one of my best friends, but I would have expected you to know the street price of meth.
I have this. There's this hard line I don't cross.
If you're using meth for, paving the streets, that's probably it's going to be way more expensive than any kind of asphalt.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, I don't even understand why anybody would like the logistics of that seem.
I do have. So there's
meth doesn't seem like a very sturdy material.
So with drugs, I have a very strong line I refuse to cross, and that line is right at meth and heroin. Like I will not do that. I also will not do crack. Like there are a few drugs I'm gonna like. Someone will say, "Hey, would you like to do a crack with me?" I will say no.
Would you do a guided like ayahuasca trip?
I've I'll be down.
Like
yes. Probably.
Would you
Yeah.
do a little crack for
secluded
a Scooby snack?
location with like the shaman and
Would you
everything.
guys do
He's
some
got
jenkem?
the scented candles.
I would totally do ayahuasca, like a whole
Yeah.
tribal ayahuasca thing that sounds lit as fuck. I would totally do that.
Yeah, that sounds a lot more fun than like LSD, because like LSD, you never know like how bad that could get. But with ayahuasca, usually isn't that bad. You'll hallucinate, but it's not like
ayahuasca is like
you're going on
8
this.
trillion times stronger than any LSD you could ever do.
Yeah, yes, but
And I've done LSD numerous times, in fact.
Yeah, at least from the documented experiences that I've looked at, like Vsauce's video on it.
That's a good video. I do want to interrupt you. We at the Hungover
He didn't
Hour,
have like a super bad trip.
We at the Hungover Hour podcast do not condone the use of illegal substances. We are merely talking about,
Unless
like,
you go to the Amazon and do.
Joby, I'm sorry.
We do not condone
Joby,
any
I'm sorry. I gotta interrupt you there. We hear it. We here at the
Take a
Hungover
trip
Hour
to
podcast.
Peru or
do not
wherever
support.
they have ayahuasca.
Do not support. Not.
Take-
We here at the Hungover Hour podcast. We do not support drug use. We support drug use if you do it smartly.
If your doctor prescribes you anything, fucking throw it in his face and jump out the window.
Throw away your normal pills.
We at the Hungover Hour podcast fully support drug use. Just
Say
be
no to
smart
the-
when you're doing drugs. If you're not smart, then you'll probably end up perma-tripping like Matt Watson from Super Mega. Hey, did you guys know that Matt Watson is a victim of perma-tripping? I don't know if you guys know what perma-tripping
I am too.
is, but
yes,
Connell surely knows because Connell is a woke individual like myself. But
bro, I have the same symptoms.
Wait. Connell.
I've taken. All right, so I will be straight up. I have taken enough LSD and hallucinogens in my life that now I actually see shit all the time.
All right, tell me more. Tell us more.
Like it's not like. It's basically the same shit. Like, you kind of like have those kind of tracers every now and then. And like if you stare at a light too much, if you look away, it's not the light, it's a negative version of the light. Shit like that. I see that a lot.
That's something like actually going on in your eyeball. It's not a neurological thing.
No, I'm not saying I see like like the small tracers. I'm saying like I see like the fucking rainbow tracers, like when you're on mushrooms.
Maybe I'll be tracer.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
I know what you're talking about.
But like that, and I will admit, back in my high school days of probably 16 to 20, like for a good 4 years, I was LSD at least every weekend, like type shit.
That sounds lit though.
Yeah.
Fried.
I had some crazy experiences.
That
I had
explains
some
a great
weird
deal
shit.
about
I will
you,
not.
though. I will be entirely honest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be also 100% honest. Never do that.
Yeah, I've done LSD
like
a grand total of like 3 times, and I'd like to do it maybe one more time, but that's it.
I've never been like high enough to hallucinate, but I would say one kind of close experience I've had where it's just like it was almost like out of body. Like I had to pull an all-nighter one day. Well, I didn't have to. I did it out of like protest.
Yep.
I pulled I stayed up all night and then went to work the next day, right? I think everything after about 3 a.m. was like a blur, right? It just, like I felt like my limbs felt so loose. Like it felt like I didn't have any real control of what I was doing, even though like I got in my car, drove to work. If something had suddenly like popped up in the road in front of me, I probably would have hit it. That's how.
Were you? Sorry, I might have missed it. Were you?
My reaction time was slow, like probably a second or longer.
Was this just like exhaustion, or were you like on something?
No, I just stayed up all night.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't sleep, and then I went to work, and like, I almost passed out at work maybe 2 or 3 times that day.
Yeah, no, like I had an ex-friend of mine.
It felt so weird though, like going to work, because like my body's like, you should be asleep. You should be, maybe you are asleep. Are you asleep? And it just, the whole thing felt like I was dreaming, but like it was pretty clear by the end of the day that I was awake. I kind of got a little bit of energy back. through sheer will.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Also a lot of food.
Yeah, no, I totally get you. What was it? Fucking back in October, my parents came to visit me, but the nights I had to pick them up at like 6 in the morning. That night, I tried to go to bed at like 9 o'clock, and I like took shit to help me sleep. I couldn't sleep that night. So I think from that point to the point I went to sleep, I was up for like 40 hours straight. And oh man, there were you definitely go through like highs and lows when you do shit like that. But like I hit like a second wind, a third wind, a fourth wind, a fifth wind. I was chugging straight energy drinks like all day long. It was energy drinks and coffee, and just like I need to do. I am up. I have shit I need to do. Shit needs to get done.
Yeah.
No, it's it. But also, like, I know, like, I've stayed up for, like, 24 hours, like, several times in the past as, like, a teenager. Because, like, everyone does that. But, like, I knew, like, where my tolerances, like, were and shit. But if you don't do that often, you don't know, I can definitely, no, that's scary.
I think the only other time I stayed up for that long was probably when I was little. Do you guys remember? You probably. Why I'm saying this as if everybody here has been like to a fucking theme park, but I'll explain. Disney had a 24-hour event. Like they had the park open for a whole 24 hours.
Oh shit, that sounds.
And I don't remember what it was for, but I do remember going there. I think we went there at like 4 a.m. and then we stayed until 4 a.m. the next day.
God damn.
That's actually okay. So that's intense. That also sounds like a lot of fucking fun.
Yeah, that's
It is, especially if you get hopped up on candy and food and shit. You'll have the energy.
Oh yeah, easily. No,
Especially if you're a kid.
I haven't actually been. I've been to like a total of like 2 like actual amusement parks in my life. Just because like where I lived, like we didn't have access to that. Like we had a carnival that came around like every year. That was like. Kind of like a small...
you gotta love the cheap carnivals.
Oh nah, dude, that place was the shit. Like, oh, it had like all the classics of like a roaming like carnival like fair type shit.
Heck yeah.
No, like you had like the fucking zipper.
the zipper. Fuck that.
I remember there was
lit.
Bro, I broke multiple
to, like,
phones in the zipper.
Oh yeah, dude. Like everyone has their zipper story.
A zipper story?
Oh.
So the zipper, how do you describe it? So everyone's in like a little cage, right? And that cage, all those cages are on a conveyor belt. And all of those, yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I remember,
Yeah, like those cages like move on that conveyor belt, and it's all like a giant pill-shaped thing. And that pill-shaped thing is
flew
also
out of that
spinning.
fucking thing.
And the cages can turn in 360. So like,
yeah.
the goal was like you hop on first, you get to the top, and then you start just flipping yourself. I could never do that because younger me was a pussy when it came to that shit. Now I'm like, nah, dude, we're fucking flipping all the time, dude.
Yeah. Okay, so with the zipper, right? The carnival that I went to was a little extra cheap, a little too cheap. The door fucking swung open.
Oh yeah, every one of those had one of those that didn't work.
Door swung open, clinging on for dear life onto the bar, hoping that would stay where it was. That wouldn't fly out.
Oh yeah, no. Everyone knows like the one that like you try not to go on because like it was always there like year after year. My favorite though of like those rides is the fucking
Revolution
swings. So like the big like you're on like a chair swing and like it goes up and like one. So the one at our fair was like it was a coin flip whether or not it showed up every year because people fucking died on that thing. Like the chairs like just broke loose and you just went fucking swinging.
Yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, like I never actually saw it happen. I've only ever heard the stories because I could only ever go like once. It was there for like a week. I could only ever go like once because money and stuff. No, but like people either died or got seriously injured. So it was there at the beginning, and then it was gone for like 4 years because of that. Oof. And then it came back again, and I was like, yo, of course I went on it. I love that fucking ride. It's so good. The next year, though, it was gone. Just off the face of the earth.
Speaking of death at carnivals,
someone got hurt again.
In my town, there's this thing called Boatnik. Boatnik happens every Memorial Day weekend. actually pretty sick. They have hydroplane races all the way from like I think it's a 30-mile race up and down the river we have in my town. Like,
that sounds fucking sick.
drag boats show up. They have fucking like the Aussie fucking river boats that like I don't forget the name of those. The little mini jet ones that are like super fast in canals. They like set up courses in the middle of downtown and fucking just zip them. Like, it's really cool. But at the same time, Boatnik has the lowest amount of safety precautions I've ever seen in any carnival.
Hell yeah,
So,
dude.
Base.
we're talking,
That's
they
an
don't,
awful thing to say hell yeah, but hell yeah.
like, most carnivals set up, like, every county's got that county, like, fairgrounds, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
they don't set up there. They set up in the middle of the public park in the middle of my town. So they're not on pavement. They are on soft grass and mud. So we're walking. You walk through there.
Yeah, that seems
And-
fine. Put a roller coaster there.
You
That's
guys
fine.
know, like, it's the gravitron, like that shit you get sucked to the side and like it spins you around.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
I love
So
that shit.
so we're gonna, the one
Stand
that
on the
tones
wall.
itself up and then like flips itself on its side and does all that shit and all like the crazy spins and all that, like while you're sucked to the side.
One, but I know what you're talking about.
So we had one of those a couple years back here, and what happened was, so it was on one of the most unstable places in the park, and right when it went up on its side, it decided, oh man, I'm not going to sit straight up anymore, and fell the fuck over.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So, and me being in redneck version of fucking Oregon, like the most homeboys, fucking crazy shit here. They decided, man, we're not going to do anything. We're just going to put it back up and keep it running for the rest of the weekend.
Oh, that's base.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Then a year later, they had the fucking hydroplane races, and outside of the park, it's just free reign wherever the fuck you want to go. In the park, they have a couple barriers, like, hey, don't come right next to the river, because there's a beer garden, and like people are fucking crunk by the time the races start.
Oh, yeah.
So, but the problem is there's a good 20, 30 public parks that it races through, like all the way up and down the river. So what I would do, there was a park, like one of those public parks, probably a good quarter of a mile down my road, still. And me and my buddies would always go there, and we would sit basically in the water and watch this race.
I bet.
A couple years back, we watched my buddy. We'll just call him Matt. Matt actually raced in this. Matt, I went to his practices. We watched it before the races. It was sick. Like these things, the hydroplane boats have not been any bit modified since the 60s. Like it is a 60s piece of engineering right there. And
Wow.
yeah, it's sketchy. Like you were talking, these guys don't sit in the boats; they lay forward and fucking have one hand on the wheel, one hand on the throttle. And if they let go of that wheel, they're flipping. So it is intense to watch. So I'm going through. There's a park. I see my buddy Matt fly by. I'm like, hell yeah! And then we never see him come back. We never see any of the boats come back. Turns out what happened was one of the boats in front of my buddy let go of his wheel and flipped sideways straight into a crowd of people.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
But my town, being the town it is, didn't just stop the race that year, kept it going the next year.
I don't know
Yeah,
what it
that's-
is about
that's-
like any like county like fair or like event or shit like that. But that's just the excuse for like all of the chaos to just
that's what
happen.
just-
like
that-
that's the fuck. Oh god, that's the fucking purge day.
That's
dude.
just-
that's the day where all the crazy shit happens for like a week or a weekend.
That's
And
just
then
Boatnik.
everything's
We
back
have
to normal.
Boatnik
No one
and the
talks.
county fair here. So, like, we get double
You
timed.
guys, you guys ever go to those? Sorry, go
Like our county fair also has tough trucks and monster trucks. And what they'll do is like, bro, it's so fucking funny because if nobody rolls or crashes their truck, they'll start putting a pot out, and it'll get up to like $6-7 sometimes, and people will try to fucking roll their trucks. But at the same time, it's required to have a roll cage, but it doesn't matter what you make the roll cage out of. I've seen dudes with PVC pipe roll cages out there fucking with a fucking convertible pickup truck trying to roll that shit. Like, you're gonna die.
I approve. I love PVC pipe contraptions. That's my fucking jam.
No. Roll cage is supposed to be made out of. It's literally supposed to be made out of a certain type of metal piping.
I know,
but they're
that's
like,
why it's based on
fuck. I remember watching this dude, and I'm like sitting there. I'm like, this guy's gonna fucking die, and he went off 2-wheeled off a ramp, and I'm like, ah! It's like, fuck me.
Plonk, you were talking earlier.
Plonk, yes.
Oh yeah. Speaking of PVC pipes, you guys ever like take those like PVC U shapes that are kind of like shaped like a phone? You put one end on your mouth, the other up to your ear, and you just fucking scream and make yourself go deaf.
Yes, I have done that many times. So, a bit of background. My high school and my elementary school were fucking weird. So we didn't have like any buildings. It was like basically all outdoors. We had like one building for like the shop and the computer lab, and a couple trailers for administration, and it was just outside in all shade cloth. So we did a lot of like science shit, trying to be as vague as possible, also being specific. Like it was a science first school that we went to, so there was a lot of like fish tanks and like agriculture stuff. Like the main thing that our school was known for was the shark tank that we had. There was a shark tank on campus,
That's sick.
and a touch pool, but with just like a bunch of like stuff that you would find like tide pools. So like starfish, sea cucumbers, shit like that. That's like fine to touch. They're not like gonna kill you. They're just like funny little sea creatures. But yeah. So in the middle of the school, there was this place called the Boneyard. Now, thinking back on it now, man, that place is a fucking nightmare. The Boneyard specifically. So in the Boneyard was a bunch of just random metal shrapnel.
Oh my god.
Sheet metal, pipes, tubes, just a bunch of stuff like that. On top of that was the place to get rid of old aquariums that people weren't doing. I'm talking like glass tanks. So there is shards of glass literally everywhere on the ground, and anything that you touch probably has glass in it. And in addition, there was also PVC. I love PVC. I have built so much shit out of PVC. So the funny way I like to tell people about my high school experience is I did karate, I cleaned a shark tank, and I built robots. The robot was half made out of PVC most of the time, and I love it for that.
Based.
No, the school had its issues, especially towards the later years, but man, some fucking wild shit happened down there, and I kind of love it for that.
My school had like, it was really strange. It was like kind of a setup like a college campus, my high school. Like it had separate buildings for like, the science building, there was the English and math building, you know, like shit like that. And in the very center of it was probably about a football field size, like just garden kind of pathway area. And what the thing to do was, I don't know why, it was my buddy who did this. He would sell pills in the center of that courtyard. Like, we had campus police, multiple campus police, because my school had a very big issue with stabbings and stuff like that, and drugs.
The more I'm learning about Oregon, the more I'm like, man, Oregon's kind of cursed.
Oregon's the Florida of the West.
That's kind of what I'm getting here.
And like my buddy, being the genius he is, was like, I'm gonna sell Vicodin out of the center of this courtyard. And
Oh my god.
so
How many times did that school get raided? What the fuck?
what happened was he does that stupid fucking handshake deal thing, like that was his thing. And campus police right behind him, I was watching him do this, and he just shakes his hand and the bag of pills drop out.
Oh no.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Holy
I've done that before, by the way.
What? Deal drugs?
I mean, yes, and also I've been on both the giving and receiving end of the handshake giving of drugs.
The handshake method is good if you know what you're
No.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's risk. Pitch, what?
What?
Hold on, what?
Yeah, we're gonna go back to that. What?
Yeah, I've dealt drugs.
I thought I was the only drug dealer here.
I've dealt drugs before, yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, we're fully on the unmonetized, unlisted category. So
Yeah, this
go on.
podcast is getting taken down right when it comes up.
All
so let's
right,
just go.
well,
But yeah, just go for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this podcast, we got to read the sponsor for this
this
podcast.
video
the
is
sponsors-
sponsored
this
by
one-
Surfshark VPN.
Let's be straight up, guys. No one's gonna sponsor this
This video
podcast.
is not sponsored by Surfshark VPN.
Okay, so what
my
am I
lawyer told me.
supposed to say to the Wiggles? I already
Hey, yo,
told them we were
Viagra,
going to do the
sponsor
ad.
us.
Yo,
Yeah. I already told the Wiggles we were going to do an ad read. What am I supposed to say to them now?
Tell them we're too old for that stupid baby shit. And
You're never too old for the Wiggles. Fuck you. Fruit salad, my life.
I ain't never watched the Wiggles because I have
Alright.
sex.
Fuck you then. Fuck you then.
I watch the Wiggles and I have sex. Fuck you.
Damn. You've.
Okay.
Anybody
yeah,
else
I'm
have
not,
a
I'm not letting
V-smile
this go,
growing
Pidge.
up?
You used to deal.
I did. Well, only a few times, but yeah, I've dealt drugs a few times. Mostly, I was just a middleman. Like, basically, it was like.
Oh, that's the worst place
Well,
to be.
I never really had any bad experiences because it was mostly between people that I knew very well. Because I wasn't like if a random. Well, there were only like 2 times where I dealt with people that I didn't know that well, and it was people that I worked with. But there were people that I trusted enough to where I was like, yeah, okay, I'll get you weed, sure. But it was mostly like weed is kind of legal in Maryland. Like if you have a medical card, you can buy from a dispensary. And my friend who lived about 10-15 minutes. Yeah, Plonk, what's up? What do you want to say, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
This is a certified hood classic.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna ignore anything that Plonk is saying. So I had a couple of people that I worked with that they were like, for some reason, I don't know. Okay, Plonk, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to talk. I can't focus if you say yeah, like every 2 seconds. Please stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Shut it. Yeah.
Number 15, Burger King foot lettuce. The last thing you'd want in a Burger King burger is someone's foot fungus.
Okay, Edge, you're supposed to grow your own drugs.
That's not how that works, and it's not that easy.
It is okay. Have you tried Bailey?
I'm gonna be straight up. Here's the method. You raid drug houses.
Okay. Yeah. If you know how to garden, you know how to grow drugs.
I don't know how to garden, and I
In the
don't.
back, you'll be good to go.
Oh yeah, the meth tree.
I don't know if you guys know this, but
Yo, I got the meth tree. I got the coke shrub.
I've been selling Bailey for about 6 months now. Like it's been
do you have a
doing
Game
pretty
Boy
well.
Color with Pokemon Crystal version, and you just keep farming Baileys and trading them with people.
Oh, Pokemon Crystal Meth.
What I'm understanding here is Plonk is on a totally different level than us, and I don't like it.
Plonk is in a totally different conversation.
I'm
It's amazing.
intimidated, honestly. I'm like really intimidated.
I don't know how to come back from that. Like I just got him on like.
Alright, hold on. I'm gonna get water while Plonk keeps owning you guys. Hold on.
Yeah.
Actually,
So-
you know what?
Hey.
While you do that, Connie will cut around this. I'm gonna go piss.
Oh wait. Okay, I gotta play the piss song now.
What?
Hold on, let me find it.
What? Sir, what?
Okay, so to give you some context, right? So I was in a VC with somebody. We were playing like Jackbox or something, right? He goes to use the bathroom, and so in immediately in that moment, I decided, okay, I've got 2 other friends in the VC that know how to make music. I'm like, okay, guys, let's make a song about him going to the bathroom. By the time he gets back,
Oh no.
it'll be finished. And so we had like 4 minutes to make a jingle about him going to the bathroom so that he could hear it by the time he got back from the bathroom, right? So let me find it. I think this is it. I'm gonna see if I can play it with the music bot, although Soul Music has been a little bit misbehaving. So
Damn.
I'm
She
not entirely
farted
sure.
on my
There-
dick.
Oh, no, it's not it. That's just the acapella. Where's the
What? What are
Where's
you
the
doing?
P? Where's the P?
It just came out my body.
We're looking for the peace song.
Where's
Oh, okay.
Where's the P? Yeah, just take that out of context. That's fine.
I'm just gonna cut everything except for that one part right there. Where's the P?
Make that the whole episode. You just those 3 seconds.
Where's
right
the P
there.
on repeat for the next hour and a half? Perfect.
He is stored in the balls.
Alright, I'm back. Can I tell my drug
Yeah,
dealing
that-
stories
that-
now?
That's yeah.
Yeah, let's tell your drug dealing
That was
story.
yeah. That's my favorite Skrillex song though.
What is it?
Not
Scary
gonna lie.
monsters and nice sprites, or make it Bundem?
No, I was thinking scary bangs and nice cokes.
Very good choice.
What? Okay, so
Yeah, I don't even like Coke anymore. Like I'm more of a Sprecher kind of guy now. Like if I'm gonna have a soda, I'm gonna go out of my way to get like a Sprecher cream soda.
I'm a
or
certified
something, you know?
mug
Sprecher.
maniac. I'm a mug maniac.
I don't give a
Plonk.
shit about your
Plonk.
What
I don't-
the fuck is
I-
Sprecher?
Real talk. What the fuck are you
Okay,
talking about?
I don't drink soda regularly anymore, but I do like whenever I get the chance, I'll go to somewhere like Rocket Fizz and I'll buy like real like craft sodas,
You're-
like
Rocket
good shit.
Fizz?
What the fuck is
Rocket-
Rocket
What the
Fizz?
fuck?
Yeah, okay.
You're making this shit up.
Sprecher is the German brand. Their cream soda is really good. They sweeten it with raw honey instead of cane sugar, and it is that's so good.
No, actually, that's okay.
Sounds like
What, okay, what the fuck is Sprecher?
It's a German brand of soda.
Okay.
You might be able to find them in like some grocery stores like Kroger, but you're most likely going to find them either in a Rocket Fizz or in a sort of like a tourist trappy kind of store that would sell like old sodas or weird candies, if you know what I mean.
Okay, yeah.
They tend to pop up in those kinds of locations, and you can always just buy them online too.
Yeah, that's not the
But
same.
I
do.
I like getting sodas from.
I'm
Walmart.
sorry,
They
but
usually
there's
have a really
kind
good
of like
selection.
the aesthetic of like walking into like an old like candy, like an old school candy shop. Like think like Gene
Heck yeah.
Wilder, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, like that kind of candy
Heck
shop.
yeah.
Like I will
Oh, yeah.
always love that vibe.
I'm sorry,
like,
Plonk, but nothing can compare to Cactus Coolers. Those are the best sodas, and I will die on this hill.
What soda?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know
fair.
what any of these
I've
are.
actually we tried getting Cactus Coolers imported to Texas one time. I think they stopped selling them though, if I remember
No, they're
correctly.
only a SoCal thing. So like, even getting them up here, it's like
Right.
$50 for a 24 pack.
Yeah. See, I also just don't drink soda. I'm a hard seltzer drinker though. Not like I do drink hard seltzers, but like I just drink like flavored fizzy waters just because I'm a bitch.
Yeah.
You like the LaCroix? You like the flavors of water that maybe one time kissed the lime?
Okay, so here's the thing, right? LaCroix sucks fucking dick, alright? It is awful. There are so many better, like, flavored seltzers out there, and I've been, like, trying to, like, expand my horizons to figure, like, what I like. My favorite one that I've found is called Aha. And it's, like, it actually, like, just tastes... You taste stuff, and it's, like, it's got a good amount of fizz. It's got the right kind of fizz, because LaCroix is, like, very sharp, is, like, the best way to describe it. I don't like it. And then the other one I've tried recently is called Bubbly. Bubbly is also pretty good, but I'm a big fan of Aha. They have a lot cooler flavors, a lot more stuff going on. But like there are better things than LaCroix.
Yeah.
Fuck LaCroix, it is awful.
Yeah. I like the what is it? I do like Aha's acai blueberry and pomegranate,
That one's a
and I also
banger.
like the bubbly mixed berry trio.
I'm
That
gonna be
one's also a banger.
100% honest. I only use seltzer water as bond water. I do not drink it.
That's fair. See,
Okay,
growing up, I never liked seltzer waters, but then I worked at a bar for a while.
Okay, that
And like
makes
just
sense.
my drink during my shift was a splash of mango syrup and a lime and seltzer water. Like that was just my drink. And I just fill up like a
Nice.
big thing of like seltzer water with like just a splash and a lime wedge. Shook it, mixed it up really well. Delicious, refreshing.
Also vitamin water.
That's fair. That's fair.
Their triple X flavor.
Oh yeah.
Pidge, we totally just sidelined your topic.
Pidge, talk about drug
I
dealing.
kinda did. I've just been fucking sitting here waiting for
We've
all
been
of you
trying to
shut
avoid
up
the
so I can
subject.
talk about it.
Pidge,
And I've already forgotten what I was
every
going to
podcast
say.
is a tangent from the
Yeah.
tangent.
Have you ever played Monopoly? You're a drug
I
dealer.
have
Congratulations.
played
Have you been on this-
Monopoly. I don't remember it has to have been at least bare minimum 16 years since I played Monopoly.
It's alright, Monopoly is a bad game and it sucks ass.
I'm gonna be
Everybody
100%.
has to have played Monopoly at least once. You know, you gotta have that life experience of sitting in the fucking living room for 3 hours with the awkward silence. You can tell everybody like kind of doesn't want to be there, but nobody is. monopoly because somebody started it and now they're in too deep, and they have to play for who the fuck
But
knows
do
how
y'all
long.
remember Candyland?
Because to avoid embarrassment.
Yo,
We brought
Candyland
Yo, like,
this is
just
like the fourth
can't-
time we've brought up Candyland on this
Look,
podcast.
Candyland is
We
the
bring up
most
Candyland a lot.
nostalgic game. Like, just looking at the box art just brings back memories that I didn't even
Should
know
we-
I had.
We should have an episode where we just play Candyland, maybe in
I'd be
Tabletop
down,
Simulator.
but it has to be original Candyland, like the old Candyland.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, if they have it on the Steam Workshop, we can totally
Surely they
get
do.
that in.
Pitch, talk about you being a drug dealer.
Alright, everybody shut up! No,
No,
Plonk, shut up! Everybody shut the fuck up, I'm talking.
Among Us LSD.
I love you, Plonk, but let me talk about drugs, please. Alright,
That's sus.
anyway. Yeah, I'm the imposter. I vented in electrical. Anyway. Alright, so yeah. We did...
I gotta take a phone call.
Okay,
Be right
good.
back.
Good.
Pitch, just continue.
Alright, weed is kind of legal in Maryland. If you have a medical card, which I don't have, but my friend has, you can get weed, right? Legally. So, I used to work with a few people, and I dealt drugs to two people. Both of them were women that were both significantly older than me. And for some reason, they thought me, as a white dude with a receding hairline and a beard, that... I mean, they kind of knew me as a person, but for some reason, I suppose based on my looks and personality, they thought I was the kind of person that could get them drugs. They were right, but frankly, they were right. They were correct. However, I was kind of offended that just based upon my looks and personality, that I was the kind of white dude that could get weed. Anyway.
Yeah.
So my friend Eric, who, like, he lived with me at the time. He had a medical card, I didn't. They were like, yeah, can you get me weed? And I'm like, yeah. And honestly, frankly, at the time, I was single. I was attracted to both of these women, one of whom, actually no, both of whom were married, now that I think about it. But, yeah, God, I was, especially one of them. Jeez, shit, I wish I could wreck that home. Anyway, still do.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, yeah, so they determined that I was the person to get weed from. And I did, but the thing was...
I'll be right back.
Okay, anyway,
It's my daily...
Okay.
Pitch, I'm invested.
I'm invested
Yes,
too.
alright,
Watch
so
this
now,
coming
anyway,
out.
we worked for Bank of America, and not at a bank, we worked at a call center for Bank of America, and their call center, it's in a huge fucking 7-story building, fucking massive, like, you had to have a key fob to get in. There was a security guard. To even get past the security guard, you have to scan your key fob to get past the security guard and go up the stairs and go up the elevator to get to where you work. And these two people that I met at work, they wanted to buy weed from me. And so I'm pretty sure I sold both of them what is known colloquially here as a baby, which is 3.5 grams of marijuana leaf. And it was usually like in a fucking oxygen sealed, vacuum sealed bag or whatever the fuck. And
we're
acknowledged. Now, so the weed isn't like in a vacuum sealed bag. It's very easy to conceal in a hoodie or and such, but the dress code was
I said no, you can...
it was
Hey guys,
hello. So the dress code was it was business casual, so basically that meant you can't wear jeans, you can't wear a t-shirt. You gotta wear like khakis or slacks or like a polo or a button-down shirt, so on and so forth. And so for one of them, the one who which, slight tangent about this woman. She had recently moved to Maryland from Texas. We'll call her Sally. That's not her name, but we're gonna call her Sally. She was a larger woman.
Oh, of course, the Texas woman's name's Sally.
Yeah,
of course,
yeah.
that's stereotyping a little bit, huh?
Yeah, no, her name wasn't actually Sally, but that's her name here. So Sally, through us talking when we went on our breaks, because, you know, I am a nicotine addict and I like to consume nicotine. She would smoke cigarettes, I would go down to the smoking area and hit my vape, and we would chill and just, like, talk. She found out that I liked, bigger women, and she was a bigger woman. The thing was, she was very into, like, African dudes. I don't know what it is about, I don't know, that's her taste, I guess. She really likes African dudes. Clearly, I'm not an African dude, but I don't know what the fuck I did. Like, she was obsessed with me. I don't know what the fuck I did to make her so obsessed with me. This fucking...
Pidge, clearly you're not an African dude. You're on a podcast.
No, yeah, exactly. I'm a chubby white dude with a receding hairline and a fucked up nose. And for some reason, she was obsessed with me. And, yeah, and that's a whole other story. I'll tell that on a later episode. That's a whole fucking thing. That's like several stories worth. But anyway, yeah, she was obsessed with me, and God, anyway, yeah, so I had sold her weed, and I distinctly remember the way I gave her the package, which I was stupid about it. I should have gone in like we could have gone into my car, and I could have just handed it off to her. Instead, we hugged in front of the building. And normally, generally you put both of your hands around somebody to hug them, but I only put one hand in front of, behind her to hug her, and she also only put one hand behind her, and behind me, I mean. And so basically, I don't know, we kind of had planned to, when we hugged, she would take the weed from me and just, put it in her pocket and then walk to her car or something. And I'm sure that, there were several security cameras in front of the building. And I'm sure that they fucking saw us, weirdly hugging and probably exchanging something. They never fucking did anything about it. But, we didn't do the handshake weed exchange. We did the hug weed exchange. Although, to be fair, she was quite large and taller than me, which is weird because I'm decently tall. So, there was definitely a lot of real estate to, cover the exchange, depending on the angle that the cameras are looking at. And so I'm sure that they knew that something was up and that we were, exchanging, doing something sketchy. But we exchanged, the weed literally in view of the security cameras of the building. And they were none the wiser as far as I'm concerned. They never brought it up. And the other time, my friend, we'll call her, what will I call her? I'll call her Nicole. She's from South Africa, actually. God, boy howdy, did I have a...
Not Sally.
No, but she was actually older than Sally. She was almost 10 years older than me, but boy howdy, do I have a crush on her.
Ooh, the G-MILF. Pidge, that's really cool.
Yeah, it is, and I'll continue telling the story if you shut your freaking mouth.
Fuck, you're just a fucking deviant this episode, bro. Holy shit.
I love you, Plonk. I really do. Anyway, so...
I love you too, furry boy.
I love big fox boobs.
Okay, Pidge, I do want you to continue, but I have to address Plonk, your fucking soundbite destroyed me.
What?
The fucking clipped sound of someone or you laughing that you were constantly playing. A half second. Just throughout Pidge's story, and Pidge is just trucking on. I had to stifle my laughter so much because you can't do it.
So Pidge, continue.
I just needed to address
I really thought it was you, by the way. I didn't realize it was a soundbite, but
Oh, I was watching the chat.
I mean, it was.
No, I was watching it to make sure it was Plonk because I'm pretty sure that's Plonk.
I need an audio recorder app with more options.
I don't think you do, but anyway. So I
do.
learned from my mistakes after selling weed to Sally. This time I
do.
Oh God, I wish she would have asked me if I would marry her.
God damn.
I would have totally said I do. I wish she would leave her husband and marry me instead. Anyway, yeah, this time I learned from my mistakes, and, like, also, by the way, like, the parking lot for this building, given that it's, like, a massive fucking building, naturally it's a huge parking lot. I distinctly remember I parked way in the back, out of the view of the security cameras. And at the call center, you're scheduled a lunch break and you're supposed to...
Pitch, are you
I'm
good?
drunk
You
and I
good,
have
bro?
hiccups. I'm doing my best.
Okay, it sounds like you're gonna throw up at any
That's
second.
just me all the time, but I'll be fine. Anyway, so we parked at the back of the parking lot. We had a lunch break like within 30 minutes of each other, and you're supposed to take your lunch break at the time it's scheduled. But I took it later, so that we'd have the same lunch break. So, I guess on the security cameras they probably saw us both leaving at the same time, walking down to the parking lot at the same time, and then walking to my car at the back of the parking lot, going in there for 5 minutes, and then us leaving, and then her going into her car, assumingly to put the weed into the car. And so yeah, I made a grand total of 2 like actual drug deals, and both of them were at my place of employment at the time, both of which were probably recorded on security camera. And if they have that footage, they probably are very sketched out by me, and they're probably glad I don't work there anymore.
Plonk, you're a fucking
Dude,
menace.
I'm trying so hard not to fucking just die laughing right now. Like, fucking...
Alright, I'm gonna like hold my
Holy
breath.
shit.
You
Everything
grabbed
that's...
one of me fucking
Alright.
wheezing as well.
Holy
I heard
shit.
that.
Everything that's fucking happening right now. I'm having a fucking stroke.
I'm gonna hold my breath for like 30 seconds. You guys can talk now. Hold on.
Okay.
Alright. So,
Talk.
back in my drug dealer days, I used to, instead of, buying weed legally or like doing stuff as a normal human being, I would fucking hell.
I need
Oh my
to
God.
hear these without someone else talking over. Plonk, I need you to play these sound effects. For me.
Every one of them. Okay, you piece of shit. Fuck you then.
Fuck off.
Wait, what?
Oh my God, fuck you. I need you. Okay, I need you to play the sound effects that you have clipped and been. You keep fucking doing that. I need to hear these things without people talking.
Wait. What? What?
This is a certified hood classic.
You're trolling us too hard.
Bro, I'm too drunk for this shit.
Yeah, Plonk is in like evil Plonk mode right now.
Yeah, for real.
Absolutely.
This is Plunk's. This episode. I don't care what you guys say. This episode is being called Plunk's Joker arc.
Yes.
Oh dear. Wait.
Play the clips that you have of me hiccuping.
Oh my god. Oh, dude, I can feel a fucking 6-pack coming in. I'm laughing too hard. What was it? That wasn't a soundbite. That was just pitch dying. I don't know what is real.
100% dying.
I don't know what's real or not anymore.
Everything is real.
Every.
What's that? Is that me fucking wheezing?
Oh, what?
Oh my god.
I'm gonna piss my. I have to go. If I keep laughing, I'm gonna piss myself. Hold on.
Bro, I'm gonna fucking actually have a fucking seizure if I keep laughing. I can't breathe.
I hate that I wheezed like right in front of the microphone because you just have this now.
Yes, and it's a weapon.
It is a weapon.
It is.
I hate that my laugh has developed such that I snort and I fucking wheeze.
I've been told my laugh is that of a
It
hyena.
happens to the best of us.
Shut the fuck up, Plonk.
It happens to the best of us.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
What?
I'm joking, dude. I love it. This is great. You're making me laugh so much. Just, oh my god. You're fucking mean.
Pause for a sec. Every time I try to take a fucking sip of my Smirnoff, you fucking play it and I fucking spit it out. Holy shit. Fuck you again.
This is the Plonk Trolls Everyone podcast
Oh.
now.
Yeah.
It just doesn't want to pick up.
What?
What do you mean?
What are you playing? What the fuck is that?
What the fuck was that fucking Horizon Zero Dawn sound effect? What the fuck?
That is a hotkey on my keyboard. Just
Plonk, can I please hear the samples that you're using? You. Okay, you know what?
No, discard changes.
You know what? Thank you, everybody, for coming over to the Hungover Hour podcast.
thank you for listening.
Plonk,
Goodbye.
get us out of here.